They came to name my worth out loud. I stayed seated to count respect because accounts that ignore dignity always end in debt. The knock lands twice and the door opens into this room without ceremony. I'm Ruth. I keep the ledger of respect. My son stands just inside, unsure whether to cross the line between habit and boundary. His wife follows, chin brave, eyes rehearsed. Behind them drift her parents with smiles that measure. No coats, no gifts, only a script of concern pressed into their voices. I rest both hands on this table because steadiness is contagious. They say they want to talk about stability and family harmony. I invite them to sit and keep my chair exactly where it is. People expecting surrender often stand. They don't sit, which is its own prologue. Kira's mother praises prudence while inventorying my life in gentle syllables. Her father speaks of burdens the way bankers speak of risk, abstract and tidy. Jonah asks if I am comfortable, meaning compliant. I tell him comfort comes from clarity. They propose an allowance to make things easier, paired with fewer visits and quieter holidays. The price of peace, itemized without blush. I look at my son and ask what he believes peace costs. He blinks at the arithmetic and remembers my math. I remind everyone this room bills in respect before money. We continue in the present as I braid a small ribbon of past through the air. Years of living simply taught me that silence keeps wealth safer than volume. I wore ordinary days like reliable clothing and invested in futures nobody could parade. Jonah grew thinking effort mattered more than spectacle, which was the point. Kira's parents once tested that premise over dinner words, not plates, weighing value with polished grammar. Their conclusion mispriced dignity and overvalued appearances. I did not correct them then. I simply posted a policy inside myself. Policy outlives theater when you enforce it kindly. I say this without accusation, only calibration, while today still breathes between us. Expectations have tried to rent this room before with terms that waived my consent. I declined without raising my voice and kept receipts where memory cannot be edited. Jonah remembers, though he doesn't love remembering. Kira hears policy and mistakes it for coldness. Policy is actually warmth with fences. Her parents mention stability again, a word often used to anchor control. I return to clarity, the only interest I pay happily. We can continue if everyone understands my currency. Otherwise, the door knows how to close. My money policy is posted and plain. Money follows respect. Respect precedes access. Access never substitutes for love. I repeat it with the cadence I use for recipes and wills. Jonah nods like a man recalling multiplication tables from childhood chalk. Kira's parents exchange glances that calculate exceptions. Exceptions are where exploitation lives, so I remove them gently. Gifts will be chosen by me, not negotiated by committee. Loans no longer exist. They returned as resentments too often. Assistance requires shared responsibility, not signatures on my behalf. I keep my hands on this table, and the room holds the rule. When policy holds, bargaining tries new clothes. They suggest a temporary arrangement until things settle, which means until I forget. They promise to handle details, which means I would own the risk without the steering. Jonah floats a compromise, because sons sometimes confuse peacekeeping with peacemaking. I thank him for caring and decline the shortcut. Kira asks if I am offended. I answer that I am oriented. Orientation is knowing where I end and where others begin. The room dislikes drama and rewards plain sentences. I use them. They land. We move forward without shouting, which is victory. I summarize in writing aloud, not on paper, because policy doesn't require props to exist. I will manage my accounts and decisions. Questions about my capacity go through my doctor, not relatives. I will choose when generosity happens and what it funds. Proximity earns nothing by itself. Jonah inhales, exhale caught between loyalty and memory. I tell him I trust his goodness more than his reflexes. He lowers his shoulders and finally sits, which tells the room something hopeful. Kira watches a rule become a doorway rather than a wall. Her parents look for a handle. There isn't one. A quiet minute arrives, and I spend it on Jonah because relationships are investments too. I tell him my boundaries protect our bond from the corrosion of confusion. He whispers that he didn't want to embarrass me. I thank him for trying to protect me with the tools he had. We trade small apologies without interest charges. Kira sits beside him and touches the table, choosing steadiness over performance. Her parents wait for their cue, but today's script is shorter. The room grows kinder by an inch. That is measurable progress. We keep counting what matters. Kira's mother attempts elegance with a softer tone, asking whether pride keeps me from accepting help. Pride kept me alive during years when help arrived with hooks. Wisdom keeps me steady now. I tell her assistance that requires disappearance is not help. It is a purchase. I am not for sale, not at any monthly price. She asks how I define family. I answer, by mutual responsibility, not payables. Her husband says adulthood requires hard choices. I agree and demonstrate one. We will not trade access to me for relief from you. That transaction closed forever. They pivot to Jonah, counting his obligations, while pretending concern counts as contribution. I remind them that adults can love both marriage and mother without mortgages on either. Kira looks down because she recognizes a tactic she has accidentally practiced. Recognition is the first door. I hold it open without commentary. Jonah speaks carefully and says our home will not be a branch office of anyone's approval. He reaches for Kira's hand, and she allows the gesture to stand. Her parents inventory the loss of leverage. The room reaches a new balance point and does not wobble. I offer the part of the story nobody asked for, but everyone needs. I live within my means, and those means are sufficient. Stability here was not inherited. It was built one ordinary day at a time. I don't perform scarcity or display abundance. Both are costumes that distract from stewardship. If they wonder whether I can afford autonomy, the answer is yes. If they wonder whether I will trade it, the answer is no. Questions about competency belong to professionals, not in-laws. Questions about generosity belong to my calendar, not anyone else's appetite. We proceed accordingly. Someone asks what generosity now looks like since old pipelines have closed. I say it funds futures that carry themselves and communities that guard their elders. It purchases hours for rest, books for curiosity, and counseling when history needs untangling. It does not finance status theater, emergency image repair, or campaigns against my agency. Kira listens with an expression I remember from early visits, curious before choreography hardened. Jonah smiles like a student who has found the proof line he needed. Her parents attempt to translate, but policy resists being edited into comfort. The room sides with clarity again. Because bargains have stages, they try remorse next, thin and urgent. I accept apologies without invoices and decline apologies with terms. We rehearse a boundary, They may visit when invited. They may request but not require. They may never again crowd my decisions with a chorus of consequences disguised as concern. Kira's father asks what happens if emergencies arise. I answer that real emergencies produce cooperation, not control. He nods because truth sometimes disarms even pride. We keep breathing together. That counts too. The table learns another use, truce platform. Jonah asks whether I want anything from him today besides support. I ask for one gift only: resist triangulation. Do not ask me to referee, and do not ask them to parent. Choose your vows and keep them without outsourcing enforcement to elders. Kira exhales a confession about old habits of approval and small deceptions that kept peace briefly. I don't catalog. I bless effort and return us to the present. Her parents study the ceiling, looking for angels to draft. None arrive. We settle for humility, which works better. We practice next steps as if they were lines in a useful play. Jonah will communicate jointly with Kira when requests travel from outside their marriage. Kira will answer her parents promptly and plainly. No more fog, I will rest, before replying to big asks, because rested people remember policy. We agree to meet again with questions, not demands. Kira's mother says this feels cold. I say it feels stable. Stability is what children need when families widen. Jonah squeezes Kira's hand again, and this time she squeezes back without theater. The room approves with quiet. They attempt one last audit of my past giving, hoping the numbers change the terms. I do not itemize because love cannot be reconciled in spreadsheets without damage. I acknowledge gratitude for what I chose and regret for what I enabled. Both can be true without penalty. Kira's father asks, who taught me this accounting? I say, experience and the price of underpriced boundaries. He understands more than he admits and nods once. We let silence balance the books. The totals are different now, and that difference is the point. We return to today's opening image and change one detail. They sit. Chairs scrape softly, which feels like respect, finally remembering how to move. Jonah thanks everyone for trying. Thanking effort is civilized even during disagreement. Kira's parents offer a farewell that is thinner than love, but thicker than resentment. I accept it as a temporary currency and expect better later. The door will remain unlocked for progress and locked for pressure. This room has learned my preferences, so will everyone else. We stand without hurry, which is new. After they leave, Jonah lingers, and we sit with the air we earned. He says he mistook my policies for punishment once. I tell him he just found their kindness. Boundaries keep us from becoming versions of ourselves we don't respect. He grins like a boy who solved a problem and became a man in the answer. Kira returns from the threshold to say thank you, awkward and brave. I accept and suggest a follow-up conversation without her parents. She nods. The room releases tension we forgot we were carrying. We notice how light feels. I allocate my afternoon the way I allocate accounts toward what compounds. Rest is a deposit. Reading is a dividend. Calling an old friend without agenda is interest on trust. I send a short note to my doctor confirming a routine check because maintenance is how sovereignty lasts. I send another to myself, a sentence I can stand on barefoot. Keep policy, keep kindness. The calendar will remember because I will. This room will volunteer witness again when needed. That is enough structure for a long time. Evening arrives like a reconciliation that doesn't require apologies to keep working. I sit in this chair, at this table, in this room, and inventory peace. The ledger shows fewer leaks, fewer performances, and a surplus of breath. Jonah texted a heart. Kira added a period after thank you. Small punctuation can be a contract. I pour nothing and sign nothing and still feel richer. Tomorrow will invite new math. I will bring the same policy respect first. Money follows. Love, finally, no longer on credit.